Here we go.
Now is the time for the chips and salsa beat, which is, I think, amazing for being made, what did you say, 10 years ago?
2014, actually. That's when we did our
2014,
first
11 years ago. This thing still sounds jamming.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Saved by the Bell, and like I feel like it's still like kind of like Conan O'Brien, or it's got like a news twist to it still.
It's pretty classic, Thank you, David Beasley, my nephew who wrote it, but it's got a little bit of salsa in it just to get you started and get you in a good mood. Like, yeah, we're going to be moving and grooving. He actually wrote lyrics to it, so at some point
Really?
I'll bring those in.
Lyrics?
Yeah, there's lyrics to it. They're kind of cute, yeah.
What a musical genius. People that are so good at music trip me out. I mean, that's so much talent to think of lyrics and to make a song from scratch. That's amazing. I love that.
He really is. He did a great job. So thank you, Chipsters. Thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate all your support. I keep hearing from a lot of you guys, and I'm just ecstatic each time. And I get your stuff, okay? If I don't always get back to you, I do check it. I just don't always have time to return. You're probably the same way, Zeke, I imagine.
Yeah, people send me stuff all the time, and it's like, let's jump right into some local real quick, if you don't mind, Alice.
Sure, let's do it.
So someone close to me had been involved with got the murder that went down yesterday. It was up there on Solopik Park, and if you don't know where Solopik Park is, it's across the highway from the Doñana Community College, the main campus, up there off Stern. And a young lady, I think she was 18 or 19 years old, shot in the head, died at the hospital. And apparently it stemmed from the Young Park shooting. Still, it was from the
Was still related to that shooting?
Yeah, apparently there was still gang affiliations with that, and apparently she had a really rough life too. She had a rough upbringing. She probably shouldn't have been around these certain individuals. But hey, that teenage violence is getting brutal. It's here in Las Cruces, it's a big problem, and these kids are just so uneducated. It's they don't know how to read, they don't know how to write. There's no jobs here. They have no hope. They have no purpose, and there's just drugs everywhere. We're on the border, so they can easily get drugs. I mean, the kids at Young Spark, they count. One of those kids was a human trafficking, wasn't he? Caught human trafficker.
I think I did read that.
Yeah. So these poor kids, and I just want to go over real quick that the kids are under attack. We got to start looking out for the children. Worst child well-being in the country. We just got deemed that worst place to live in the country, and now we got doctors leaving left and right because the dang people who are writing the laws to make it easy to sue doctors are the ones suing the doctors easily. Alice, what are we doing here, man?
And I want to talk about the doctors, but the other thing, and I've had this complaint about education for I can't tell you how many years, and I don't know if you knew this too, for 1 year, I was a secretary at a middle school.
Really?
In Phoenix, yeah. And it was such a revelation. This is like the early 90s.
Really?
But one of the things that started happening even back then is the kids... There's the way that the teaching happens. One of the things, not just learning things by memory and stuff like that, but when I was in school, hopefully when you were still in school too, they encourage you to think and reason. And I believe we have lost some of that.
Yeah. You know what? Such a beautiful point, because those were common words back then. You need to be able to reason. You need to use logic, your rationality. But reason especially was a word that, especially I started to get a hold of in community college and especially in college. That's use your reasonable, and then you read.
And remember, did you have to learn? I remember we had to learn like the different types of logic, like deductive reasoning and things like that. Well,
really?
Yeah. We had to. I mean, they taught it, not that we had to. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it.
Wow.
But I would love to go back and I'd like to get a drone. Oh, we got to talk about Huff's drone. Don't let me forget too.
Mr. Huff drone?
Yeah, he did a drone video that's pretty priceless. And if I could go back in time and see what was being taught, and then hear, if I had a drone, and to go into the classrooms and to see what was actually being taught. Now, there are some good schools. Like the public school system is in trouble. It really is. And we're gonna try to have the candidates here. I know I think Christina Moore will be with us next weekend. We'll talk to her. But we're in trouble here education-wise. We're number 51, right? We
were just deemed the worst educated state in the country, and you brought up a good point. It's a problem that you've been posed with for many years, and I just don't get it, guys. Help me out here, Ellis. I mean, we've been deemed the worst education in the state for many years, and we just keep tripling down on these Democrat policies and these Democrat politicians. It just doesn't make any sense to me. How could you possibly want to be insane by doing the same exact thing over and over again and expecting different results? That right there blows my mind. It's so hard to comprehend.
Well, I think that's one of the good things, and I know it started in Arizona when I was living in Arizona. The charter schools and the private schools, like a lot of people I had a lot of friends that would spend a lot of money to send their kids to Catholic schools. And some of them weren't even Catholic. It was about trying to get the best education for their kids.
No, I laugh at that's true. I remember hearing about that. Kids, we're not really, but they got the best math and readings, scores in the state or whatever. So at the end of the day, your kids got to know how to reason. They got to know how to think. I think you got to be able to speak well, think well, write well, and then of course you want to be proficient in reading as well. You can skip all those high school and college as long as you get those down. And get into the trades. I told a guy recently, he's like trying to get all this education. So I was like, bro, you want to start making some money, you need to start getting into the trades, bro. Do some electric, get some HVAC going, do some plumbing, man. You start making six figures right now.
Yeah, they're really paying well in those professions. Along talking about the public schools. I have a story here. I thought we might have a school board candidate tonight, but that changed. But evidently, they're finding out that they banned the cell phones. Okay, so the kids, they can't use their cell phones. I think they have little lockers in some places. Yeah. They put them away.
I love that.
And I don't have a problem with that. However, one of the people, somebody was complaining about that. They didn't think that was a good idea. I just want to give kudos real quick to a friend of mine. Okay, so back in Phoenix, one of our neighbors is a retired school teacher. And I better not say his name because I don't have permission. But what he would do, I think he taught, I want to say 5th or 6th grade. And what he would do is he said, okay, everybody's responsible here. Whoever's cell phone goes off, you better turn off your cell phones and put them away. Whoever does, then I'm taking all of your cell phones.
Did you turn your cell phone off, Alice?
It never. No, this is my neighbor.
But your phone,
at that time. No, because I have to read the topics.
Oh,
but I turned the noise off. It's off.
Okay,
it's
so that's a good policy, though. I like that.
He did that, and he said, it only happened one time, because the first time it happened, everybody else policed each other. I guess that's kind of how the military works, right?
Wonderful rule. Oh yeah, everybody pays for one person's mistake, and you end up starting to hate that one guy in the squadron real quick. I've been a part of that.
And I thought that was brilliant. And that's how I handle it. And he didn't have problems.
We had that in baseball because I would screw up all the time, like Little League, and then he'd make the whole team run with me, or he'd make me watch while they ran.
Oh my goodness!
And do hills. Like I had to sit there on my knee and watch them run because I screwed up, and so I was like,
That taught you a lot of good teamwork, didn't it?
It was a little bit of hazing, but I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I think that's a great idea. My college professor would also, he would just, you just didn't have an option. If your phone went off, you're kicked out of class. Like, can't use them. You do absolutely no technology during this class. And I've heard horror stories from teachers that like these kids are so hard to deal with. They can get violent. I've seen videos. We've all seen videos.
All those videos. Yeah. Wow.
They're just disruptive. They're mean. They're disrespectful. They're on their phone all day. It's like, get rid of the phones. Thank you for that. I think that's a really good thing.
So that's evidently that's the policy here in the public schools, and if it's helping education, okay. I mean, at least it's helping education. It would be nice kind of if all the teachers were bold enough to do what my buddy did, the teacher. But whatever. If it helps them, it helps them. But I do want to ask, when we have the school board candidates, if they have any thoughts about that. This is kind of local. Did you see this? A New Mexico man threatened Trump?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. So I'm just going to click on here in the story. So evidently, I hope I can continue in here. So he's guilty. He made online threats. And so we had a really good attorney here goes after him. A man from Albuquerque pleaded guilty to making threats of violence against Trump. U.S. Attorney's Office in New Mexico confirmed this. And he said, he actually kind of said something like, Trump, you're dead. It wasn't just, like, I wish you were dead or something like that. I'm
Get his ass. Get that guy.
It's Tyler Levesque, I guess. Levesque? Leveque. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Now faces up to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to making threats on social media. 37-year-old argued the multiple videos and statements constituted free speech. Well, there's something, free speech. Remember that old thing? You can't yell fire in a theater, stuff like that. Quote, you and your rich friends are, this is what he said, you and your rich friends are dead. No threat, a promise. And that's one of the threats that was stated. So, there's always a New Mexico connection to national news, it seems like.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to that point where it's like, and we talked about this too recently, where it's like everybody's like so quick to criticize President Trump right now. And he's like, I don't get it. I don't get why he's got so much hate. He's absolutely been hammering it. He's been crushing it just on the border, going after the child traffickers. The border alone, that's one of your biggest points, and me too. The military is kicking that. I mean, RFK is doing amazing things. They're all doing incredible stuff, but yeah, I still hear people like gripe and complain and like, you know what, guys? At the end of the day, President Trump can't do it alone, and we, the people, have to be the ones that back him because we're so inundated with the swamp. These guys have been running circles around us for decades, and the reason why Trump isn't able to get things done the right way, and the reason why we even had to hire and elect a guy like President Trump is because we're just about to lose everything. So if you're really that upset about President Trump, at the end of the day, what really matters is local politics. You know, we need more solid MAGA Republicans to get in office. We need more city council. There is no red cities really. So for me, instead of hearing you complain about President Trump, I'd like to see you do something about it on your local level, like positively. You know?
No, that's a very excellent point. And as we were talking before the show, is a good friend of mine who does politics, or follows politics, I should say, is very upset with Trump. And my thing is the border, okay? That's the one thing. The dude fixed it in a few months. And he was saying there was maybe 20 million people. You were giving me an interesting figure.
Yeah, that just came out recently. Governor DeSantis I think it was today or yesterday, came out and said there's he speculates 40 to 50 million illegals are in this country. And I believe that figure because I've been hearing that for a while. And President Trump started out like 5, 10 million, then he went to 15, then he's at like 20. I think he had alluded to 30 million too eventually.
He could have.
But 50 million, I believe. And that's a lot because how many, I don't even know what our total population is.
Our population was like 340 million people of the United States.
It's a quarter. It's a quarter of our population.
That is too many.
Well, almost close to a quarter.
And then every day, do you follow that site on Facebook, Illegal Crime Alien Report?
No.
I try to post and thank you very much for liking our Facebook page. I try to post from there once in a while because they really follow the arrests. There are so many bad people, bad guys that are getting arrested. And we're not just talking, like bank robbers or something. Oh, murders and just vicious, horrible things. It's even uncomfortable to read about them. So that's still happening. But you're right. A lot of people are dissing on the president, but the deep swamp and all the bad players that are in there cannot take care of this overnight. It's not going to happen that way.
We have been inundated with these guys for decades. They've been running circles around us. The country was about to get blown. Imagine if President Trump didn't win. It was still open border. I would probably be in jail right now.
Imagine your girlfriend Kamala was in there. You're probably in jail.
She's disgusting. Well, they just got rid of her Secret Service protection. That was nice.
And they tried to get on Trump about that, but he was perfectly within his rights to do that. You have 6 months.
Vice presidents don't get any protection at all, ever. I mean, the president gets permanent protection, former presidents, but vice presidents, no. I think it's like 6 months after they lose.
Right.
That's it, they're done.
And we learned so much too about him because then it might have been Higbie's program that did this. So he was within his rights to do that, along with the family, like her family. You don't have to give them Secret Service protection either. Absolutely. No, and here's the thing. Trump has so many attorneys and lawyers, has done so many things. It's kind of difficult for him to do things that he shouldn't legally, because I'm sure he has a lot of advice on that. I'm not saying he gets everything perfect. I don't know. And then we always have, as soon as he does something, oh, the judges are right there. No, we can't do that. Oh, we can't do that. And most of the time, guess what? He was able to do that. It was perfectly legal.
Yeah. I think he's going to get another term. I think he's going to run again in 2028. I think they're going back and forth about it. They're trying to act like he's not going to do it, but I think he's going to do it. I mean, it's,
You think so? What about the health thing? Last time we had a show, they were worried about his health. They killed him off, first of all. They thought he was dead. And then now they're trying to say, oh, they had those fake pictures of him that he looks horrible.
He's a clone. It was a clone.
The AI stuff and everything.
I don't know what to believe anymore. I think, I do know that Nino Rodriguez was saying that, we're going to be going through the most changes and everything that's in the Bible, all the stuff that all the mystics have been talking about for centuries, that, the most important time to be alive is right now, guys. We're going to be going through a lot of epic changes in the very near future. That being said, I want to go back to the local stuff and, the kids, the teenagers, my idea is they're committing all this violence. Like I was saying before, they can't read, they can't write. They have no purpose. There's no jobs. There's no opportunity here. And what a lot of people don't understand here in New Mexico is even if we bring solar jobs, other jobs, manufacturing jobs here, we don't have the educated workforce to fulfill those jobs because our kids and our population are so uneducated. So there's a lot of things to overcome here in New Mexico. And then on top of that, we got it. Doctors fleeing. Doctors are fleeing the state because it's so easy to sue it. And at the end of the day, it's attorneys that are in the legislature making it easy to sue the doctors so that they can go out and thereby sue them easily themselves.
Just to go back for a minute about what you're saying about our young people.
2 big points there. Let's hit it.
Yes. So I just want to say, first of all, have you noticed, I'm sure you have, here in Little Las Cruces, we're about 45 minutes away from El Paso, Texas.
Yeah.
There are so many people, they live in El Paso, okay, and they come and work here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sad that we can't fill these jobs. We should be able to do that. That hasn't been a problem historically. You know, we always have people that want to work and get jobs, but they don't stay here. You're absolutely right.
No.
It's terrific. When we were having our house built here, a lot of the same thing. So many people I run across, I'm like, oh, they lived in El Paso. A lot of businesses, and we just don't have them. Like, we can't sustain them, I guess.
It just boils down to China. You know, China's been trying to take over the world. Think of it this way, guys. China controls right now 97% of the rare earth minerals on Earth because of all the
97%.
Well, it was 99% until Trump got in. Now he just
We got 2 more percent.
got 2 points. We should be at 93 by the end of the year, apparently, and then by the time Trump's term is over, we'll be at 70, maybe even a little bit better percent control of rare earth minerals. So we have a bunch of rare earth minerals here, guys. I don't know if you knew, but New Mexico is rich with resources.
Yes, sir.
And so we're not allowed to mine them. We're not allowed to educate the people to mine them. We're not allowed to mine them in general. And that is because we're just little ants, and they just use this land willy-nilly. This is our land. This is our God-given right. These are our God-given freedoms, and we have no control over our own land, and we haven't had control over our own land for a very long time, guys. That's why the state sucks.
So and this is kind of, I don't know what this answer.
But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful
state. I thought maybe you know the answer to this question. Do the feds own that particular land?
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Don't we have some private owners that
They won't
own
even
any of it?
say exactly
Or
how
maybe
much.
they can't even do it.
No, a lot of it's owned by the government land, and there's a lot of it on private land too. Like the reservations have a lot of natural gas,
Mm-hmm.
But they won't even tell you straight up how much gold they speculate it's in the hills here in New Mexico. And quick little geology lesson: everything east of the Rocky Mountains, just on the bottom of that mountain, there's a lot of precious minerals in there, guys. Because if you think about all the friction that happens to make those mountains, there's a lot of just amazing stuff: gold, silver. You can think of potash.
There's gold in them thar hills.
Cobalt, ton of cobalt right there in Deming. So we got to get control of the state, guys. We're the 5th largest state in terms of resources. From what they tell us, I think that we have probably more gold here than they're saying.
I was going to say there's probably more if that's
And
what
silver.
they admit to.
So we get control. We get some conservatives in office. We get these commie sellouts out of here, and what we're doing looking good, guys.
I mean, this could be such a great state. It's such a great state. We only have 2.2 million people.
That's nothing.
I always say this: Maricopa County, Arizona, where Phoenix is in. Okay, I think the county is 4 million.
The county.
4.5 million. That's just the county. That's just the county. The whole state's about 6-7 million, maybe something like that.
Oh my God.
So 3
pray
for Las Cruces and pray for New Mexico, because we're not giving up. You know what? I'm not giving up. I don't care.
Yeah, why do you want to be insane, Democrats? Why do you want to be insane? Why do you guys want to do the same thing and expect different results? Do they not see? I'll argue with someone. Ironically, it was a doctor. She can't stand President Trump. She'll text me randomly in the middle of the night, just some Trump hater stuff. It's crazy.
What kind of a doctor? Can I ask?
She's MD.
Yeah,
And she's a naturopath too now.
Oh, she's a naturopath.
Naturopath now, yeah.
And why does she not like the
Because he has low thyroid. That's her.
Because he has low thyroid.
Yeah, because he has bags under his eyes, and then his health. I'm like, look,
Diagnosed him.
Biden he couldn't even talk. Where were you out there? It goes over their head. The most basic of things. I was like, what say you to them just leaving the border open and all these kids getting trafficked, and all this, human trafficking that you guys just enabled? What do you say to that? Well, Trump has thyroid issues, and I'm just like, wow. Yeah, but and I don't mean to pick on her or the doctor, but that's kind of the same logic that these people kind of have. They just completely divert from what the initial argument is. It's called a straw man attack. I'm done. I don't even argue. I'm real facetious about it now. I'll just joke around. I don't take it serious.
I just want to comment because the dude's almost 80 years old. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's 80 years old.
Golfing.
And if the low thyroid is, what did she say?
Because you got dark, swelling, dark swelling under the eyes.
I've
Usually.
had that since I was 17.
Yours isn't bad. You don't have bad at all.
And I do have thyroid stuff. You know, I go to a naturopath for that.
Get your thyroid checked, guys.
We could, do, especially as you get older and stuff. But that's so interesting to me. It's wild.
She's a brilliant doctor. She can heal anything. I mean, literally taught me so much about natural healing. But when it comes to politics, and some of the, ironically, some of the most brilliant people that I've ever met, people in my family actually, brilliant people, top of their class, doctors, high power executives, engineers, man, they hate Trump. They cannot. I don't know what that is. It just must be like a personality thing.
And are there different reasons? What we should do is, because we know a lot of people and they've got their issues. Just start writing down like if there's a popular issue that they care about. But did we talk about this already before? Just based on the fact that President Trump cleared up the border.
You love that.
Maybe I do. I really do. And maybe it's because, not everybody lives close to the border like we do. I lived in Arizona before. I've lived in the Southwest all my life, and it's made an impact. And when we had a president that allowed all these people just to kind of come on in, you're welcome. And that's not happening anymore. And there's so many other things and I think I already told you, my friend, that even though now he's not a Trump guy, he voted for Trump, but he's okay with RFK. Because what about RFK Jr.?
That's crazy to me.
RFK Jr., he was a brilliant appointment.
He's more controversial than President Trump. Is he not?
Oh, yeah. They're trying to just he's going to kill children. Like and in effect, the vaccine, you still want to take the vaccine? Okay. But he's really, I think he's doing so much for our country. And if I talk to you about, remember when I was a kid and they had the little JFK things, you had like a little card. So every year in PE, you were supposed to do so many push-ups or pull-ups, which I never could do because I don't have any strength in my arms. But I hope he brings that back, because that's another thing. Our kids are so unhealthy. And if you're unhealthy too, your brain can't work as well either. But it was so cool where, you could throw, I think you had the softball throw. And I have a pretty decent arm at that. And at least you have some accomplishments that you can do. But RFK Jr., man, I salute him. And if you didn't watch, did we talk about this already? If you didn't watch his testimony,
that was awesome.
he did great.
He just straight said it's a eugenics, human depopulation strategy that they've been implementing with these vaccines. None of the child vaccines were actually tested properly, especially the HPV vaccine. No, was it? There was.
I know which one you're thinking of.
It was a main one.
Was it the measles?
No, it was you could only get it if you're through sex and through blood transfusion. But why would a kid fresh out the womb need this? Oh, it was a Hep B. The Hep B vaccine.
Yes, that's what it was.
There's no reason to get, and that's the one that has all the bad stuff in there. All right, the aluminums and all this other nasty stuff that they got in there, the bad adjuvants and what have you.
And he quoted studies, I believe,
the mercury,
that they find a correlation that and autism and things like that. And I just want to briefly say too that I also watched after he had testified, which he did so many good things. He really did. He was awesome. He knew his stuff. He really did. So afterwards, there was a press conference held by the left, and there were some doctors there, and they were very proud of themselves, And the only thing is they were big critics of RFK Jr., huge critics, and it's because of him, and he's detrimental to health. But what they did not provide that he did, they didn't have any backup. I would have had so much more respect for them if they could at least said, well, there was a study done in this year by such and such. I didn't see them quote anything like that. Nothing like that. And I wouldn't expect that necessarily if a congressperson got up there. They can't know all these things. But the doctors that got up there and were willing to do that, and they were criticizing him because, he's not a doctor. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But who has done more research on all that, Zeke? Come on.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a hard time trusting it. The medical field's tough because I don't really trust Western medicine, but I know there's good doctors out there.
Yes,
Although,
there are.
I mean, RFK speaks for himself. He's wrote a book on the thing. He was injured by the vaccine. He credits vaccines to his voice, the way he talks, because he got the vaccine and it ruined his voice. I've gotten vaccines and gotten very, very sick. I mean, I wanted to freaking die, so I don't take them. I don't take them. And he confirmed why, none of them are really good. There's really none good for you. The best thing to do is boost your natural immunity, your natural immune system. And they don't teach us how to do that either.
And, they try to pin everything on President Trump. But what they couldn't do is when the Jabberwocky came out, what did President Trump was the president at that time. He didn't say, don't take it, but he left it up to you, and he left it up to the states basically. But he never forced it. It's all about our freedom and the forced vaccine. And now, they were really mad at, is it DeSantis? Yeah, from Florida. He's like, come on.
Yeah, even Trump criticized him for that, which I don't,
Trump criticized him.
Yeah, for banning that, for getting rid of the mandate.
He mandated. Yeah, why would he criticize the mandate?
He does swirly things like that sometimes. He's not perfect, guys. He's not perfect.
Yeah, I didn't read enough about that.
Yeah, that just came out today that he was giving DeSantis hell for doing that, and I'm like, I don't even read into this stuff anymore. I'm like,
well, and you know what? You might have to dig a little deeper too, because they were also criticizing him because he called the Epstein thing a hoax. And Speaker Johnson kind of explained that, because you know what they do? They take a little part of whatever he says, and he's almost on on TV every day. And if you dig a little deeper and say, okay, here's actually what he said and what he meant, and I'm not saying that he's perfect, like you say, and everything he says is right, because I have disagreements too. But that's okay. That's America, and that's what we're all about, to have the freedom to disagree.
Yeah, we got the freedom to disagree. And President Trump, I think he's doing a phenomenal job. I really just, I love the guy. I would say it publicly. He's not doing everything perfect, but we wouldn't be on an amazing trajectory right now. We just got $16 trillion dumped into our economy, which we haven't felt yet. We're going to feel that probably this time next year. The Fed still won't lower the rates. The rates get lower. That would help us out tremendously. Once the money starts coming in, everybody's going to be... That's why they're really trying to stop that, because once President Trump starts bringing in the money to the normal people, to the common day people, then they're going to really vote him in again.
And especially if that happens next year, because next year is an election year, Congress.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can keep some Republicans in there.
Yeah.
What about also too? So, there's who's the governor of Illinois? Spitzker or whatever. So, Trump is thinking about trying to send in the National Guard troops, right?
Yeah.
Now, maybe you know more about this than I do, but I thought that I had read somewhere that really the governor or whoever has to say, okay, yeah, you can come in to be cooperative with you. Do you know how all that works, Zeke? Or you're probably better at this than I am.
I should be better at myself. No, I mean, the president has a lot of power. The Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, all this, Thomas Jefferson was dealing with a lot of this similar stuff, like him blowing up all those boats, the Venezuelan boats coming here with drugs and stuff. We were raided by pirates back in the day, back in the 1700s, and President Jefferson had wrote in law and Constitution how to deal with these types of situations. Look, this is all they don't want the human species to be free. This is God's land. We are God's people, and they don't want us to know it. They don't want us to have it. They want full control. Look at all the other countries around this world. Look at how horrible they are. South America. You want to go hang out in South America, guys? I sure as heck don't. Do you guys want to go hang out in Europe? Are you seeing Europe? How they're done. England is done.
Oh, so did you see Farage? How Farage testified in Congress?
No.
And he was basically trying to warn us, because, oh my gosh, England.
It's gone.
They are just, there's no freedom of speech there.
Nope.
He says, this is going to happen to you guys if you're not careful. So, of course, then they showed a clip, and it's the British saying, he goes to another country, to say bad things about our country. Well, it's very reasonable, because they've done it. They're doing it. And
I think it's too far gone, personally.
I think you're right.
It's just so bad. Like the little girl that they're getting harassed and they're getting beaten and God knows what else. These poor little girls over there. If you guys don't know what's going on in England right now to the little girls and what these groups are doing to these little girls, you need to look into it. It's way too graphic for me to say here, but it is absolutely disgusting. All right. And that's the Muslim population.
The Muslim population.
Yeah, they want to implement Sharia law. They want to get rid of American Constitution. They want to get rid of English, British common law. They pretty much already have, and they can just get away with the cops just let them off, and it's just a ring, and it's just horrible. And I get it. I know cool Muslims. I know Islam. It's Abrahamic religion. I get it. We have a lot of things that we agree on and we can relate to, but it's just that religion in England is not doing all that well.
And you know, I think I've talked about this before on the show, maybe like, yeah, it might even been with you. But a friend of mine who was an English citizen and came to America and became a United States citizen.
Yeah.
This is probably over, oh gosh, it's over 20 years ago because we were living at our other house, I remember.
Yeah.
And she told me she went back to visit her brother who was waiting to try to get, who was he trying to get? Heart bypass or something, but he couldn't because of the medical care there. So she went back to their area in England, and she said, Alice, there's hardly any English people there anymore.
There's no white people
and
there.
this was over 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So I can imagine now.
It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was living in Italy in 2004 to 2007, just northern Italy, we had a ton of Muslims. It was everywhere, all over Milan, all over Italy, and all over. And you know what? They had a reputation for not doing so good things at all to women and robbing people. And so, because I kind of look Moroccan, you know, I do. I look kind of Moroccan.
You'd be a great actor. You could do all kinds of roles.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of in the middle.
You could.
I can go. I can even go Samoan if I put on some muscle. But
Get some padding.
look, guys, I love God and I love religion, but you know, this country was founded by a God that gives us freedom of religion, and that's not what that Sharia law is not freedom of religion.
No, that's not. There were even, okay, so you know our good friend Jesse Romero? Okay, who's it? Yeah. No, I'm getting my people confused.
Uh-oh.
But okay, now I can remember who it is, but I can't say the name because I don't have permission to.
Oh, come on.
It was somewhere in the Los Angeles area, and there was some Sharia law going on in this particular little neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's quite scary. And this is a few years ago. I think I was still living in Arizona when this person told me about it. And these are things, okay, like we always say, here's what we know or we hear about that we could verify because we know the person or we've experienced it. But what about everything we don't know about it that doesn't get reported, that's hidden?
The spiritual warfare, guys. That's becoming a more common topic. It's something that we're all gonna have to understand at a deeper level, and that's just what's going on right now in our world. It's just we have to get close to God. We have to understand, what founded this country, and we're getting back and finding our roots as a country. I mean, this is not an easy world to live in when you get rid of the veneer of society. Look at our local town right now. The crime here has been out of control for years now, and New Mexico has the worst child well-being in the country. Doctors are fleeing here. Our kids are. It's as bad as it is in the state. It's still a pretty awesome place to live. We always go back to that. But I want change, guys. I'm tired of doing the same thing. I'm really hard on the Democrats. I am. And I know that, there's probably just a small percentage of Democrats that are really they know what's going on. They're actually doing this on purpose. I think a good chunk of them are just oblivious, and they're just kind of going along with the programming. And I empathize with those people. I'm not talking to them. But the things that are so bad, like the child well-being, that is done purposefully. That is something that is purposefully done. And it makes me sick. It really pisses me off to see these kids killing themselves in the streets the way that they are. It's disgusting.
Well, and wasn't there recently too a young lady who had a baby and threw the baby away in the hospital? Was that Albuquerque?
Doesn't surprise me.
And it doesn't too, because also remember here in New Mexico, abortion there are virtually no limits. So if you have that, and do you know we have 4 facilities here in Las Cruces? 4. If you have that, how can someone who's young think, oh, okay, well, it's legal. It's legal, so there must not be that much wrong with it. It's very hard to probably teach a child that it's very wrong to do that.
I love it when I see pregnant girls,
you don't see enough anymore,
I'm
do
so
you?
happy to see them have a pregnant girl. I'm like, man, that's awesome. Good job. 'Cause it's difficult. And blessing if you can, because a lot more people these days can't even have kids anymore. So when I see that, I always pray for them and give them a blessing. And, the population's on a downturn, guys. We need to figure out a way to get more kids in this world. But why would people bring kids in this world when the economy is so unstable? There's nowhere for them to work. Nobody can even read. It's just so crazy to be alive. We should just be grateful and thank God every day.
We do need to thank God every day. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because just this week I was in a waiting room, and there was a young man and had a little baby, just the cutest little baby. Aww. And he was waiting on his wife. And I had to ask him, I said, beautiful, adorable baby, how old? The baby's only 3 months old.
Fresh.
And I said, thank you so much. I said, it sounds like, and you could tell he was a good dad the way he was holding the baby and paying attention. And it's just, you don't see that enough either anymore, because the babies, they're secure, especially in daddy's big arms and stuff. and it was just very cool. So I resolved myself, when I do see that in public, I'm going to go and I'm going to thank them, because they made a choice to have the baby, and that's awesome. I think it's great.
Yeah, we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna have to start paying people to have kids here pretty quick, guys, because apparently we're already in the depopulation downturn. Like there's already massive amounts of people, dying off, and there's not.
But the Muslims are having babies.
They're having like 8 kids, a freaking family, man. They're doing like 6 at a time. It's like, geez.
Bring back the Catholic Mexican family. Like, if the average, when I was growing up, the average amount of kids, if you had 5 or 6 kids, we had 6, okay? 5 or 6 kids, that was pretty average. Today, that's, oh my God, we have too many kids.
Oh, I think that's cool. I think it's awesome.
How many when you were a kid? Was it still?
Well, but my dad's side had 7 total, 2 boys, 5 girls.
That was pretty, average.
Yeah, it's pretty normal back then. My mom's side, they had 6, all girls.
All girls.
My grandpa, on my dad's side on my mom's side had 6 girls. Man.
Mom always said the girls were harder.
He kept going. He kept trying, but he couldn't do it. There's a crazy thing with guys, like really tough guys and like fighter guys or like super stud athletes. They just can't have any boys. It's a common thing in like fighting and wrestling and sports in general. It's really
they
rare.
want a boy because they're an athlete. Well, what about when you were growing up?
Really rare.
Do you remember when it just started to go, the population of the families down a little bit?
Yeah, well, when I was growing up, I still got a taste of the action that you kind of had. We was like playing in the streets. We all were so close and tight. All of my friends' parents were still married. And then, it was like a little bit after high school, 2000, after 9/11, things just changed.
Yeah.
That's about when the family started to tank. Everybody's morals started to tank. Everybody was partying way more. It was just a whole thing of pleasure. It was a hedonistic type of thing that came out. It was in the rap culture and everything. Just go party. It's good to see the Gen Zers are more sober than any generation right now. They don't drink it.
They are.
Yeah, they don't drink really that much. But they're not motivated, so they're weird. They just like to smoke weed and play video games all day. It's very weird.
And isn't it true also a bigger percentage of Gen Z young men are conservatives?
They're hyper conservative, yeah. And I've met that. I've experienced that in person. Like these younger kids, these younger dudes are like, I can't imagine being that conservative when I was that age. I was crazy.
Yeah, because even I was liberal. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I was super liberal. I was pro-choice. I was all the way. Didn't care about politics. I just kind of went with the ocean and the motion.
Yeah.
But I was stupid.
Well, thank goodness, here you are. And did we talk about change of the Department of War?
Yeah, that's great. We had
used to be Department of Defense.
I'm a little scared about that because China and Russia and India just had the biggest military demonstration ever in history, and that's the truth. The Chinese, they got a lot of people. They stole all our technology. They bought it off of our people. But I think we can catch them. We can beat them, and we can if we really needed to, we can win. But we need to get the military back up. We need to get education back. All this stuff required. It's just like the ICE agents and the Border Patrol agents. We know we need to get these people the hell out of here. All 50 million of them. But Trump can't do it himself. We need everybody to go and apply that. You can go apply to ICE, go apply to Border Patrol, go help them save this country. We all have to do our part. We're doing our part on the political side. We help candidates. We got this show. And this is the front line, if you think about it. ICE, Border Patrol, what we're doing in politics and the local politics and stuff. Look, guys, I don't want to hear anybody griping about President Trump unless you're trying to do something at the local level. If you ain't trying to do something at the local level and you're criticizing President Trump, you're a big old hypocrite.
Yeah, that's throwing a nice big challenge. And like we say, don't be a worrier. Be a warrior.
Don't be a hypocrite commie. Get the hell in the fight.
And I think it's a strategy on President Trump's part, because that's originally what it was. When Washington set it up, it was the Department of War. And
I like it.
That's really what it is. Defense, somebody was saying, I never really thought about that because it's always been, the Department of Defense. But we're not on defense. We are, what is it that Rush Limbaugh used to say? The military kills people and breaks things. That's really the function of the military. It's war. That's war.
I'm a big military guy. I love it. I've just always been called to serve. And if you guys ever saw Super Troopers, I just envisioned that for our future of this country. They were getting ready to fight bugs. But, the younger guys were like studly football players. They're all in phenomenal shape. The girls were all in phenomenal shape too. And they were athletes too. And then they ended up joining the military and they had an amazing military. It's like, we should have that here in America too. But everybody's so like preoccupied with college football and NFL and baseball. It's like, bro, politics is more exciting and more important than that will ever be. Just think of the Colosseum in Rome. they made that to distract the people from what they were doing. They were screwing over that whole society. I think they're doing that same. I don't have time to play golf. I don't have time to watch sports. If I have any extra free time, I work out. I work out.
Good.
So I just get frustrated when people are just so worried about numbers, counting yards, and I hate to be so hard on you guys, but I'm just telling you, we need help out here in the streets.
Well, we do, and I was speaking with somebody recently who's lived in Las Cruces for a long time, and I'm pretty motivated and optimistic. Okay,
You are.
because even with this local election, if we can just get out the vote, because generally speaking, under 20% of the people show up that could vote. So if you could just get out there and vote, we have some very good, strong candidates, but they're so dissuaded because the history has been that there haven't really been good people running, and they're worried about election integrity or people showing up. Well, let's change that. We can change it. It really wouldn't take that much.
Let's catch them cheating. I want to catch them cheating. Oh, that's so juicy. Oh, I would love that so much.
And you can volunteer to help with that. You can be an observer and do all
Challenger, you sure can.
Challenger.
I mean, they got those guys in Michigan. It was those Islam guys. He was in the passenger seat, and they were just stuffing ballot boxes, and they got it on film. And they all got caught. They got caught red-handed stealing their own election. They stuffed the ballot. He only won by like,
They had a bunch of paper cuts, yeah.
I don't know. It's just, these guys are cheating. We know they're cheating. And so this election cycle, definitely supporting Canada, but I just want to catch them cheating because, they really destroy lives with this. In my opinion, it's a crime against humanity and it's treason, because that is like the most antithetical thing that you can do as an American is to stifle our precious God-protected, God-given right to vote.
Your vote is precious. It really is.
Yeah.
And then I also, because I have on
And
my
it just
phone,
pisses me off, so I like to vent about it.
Ranked choice voting sucks. And I'm going to give you this website to check out. StopRCV.com. Okay, that's for ranked choice voting, obviously. StopRCV.com. Unfortunately, here in Las Cruces, for the city council races, we have ranked choice voting.
Thanks, Mayor Miyagishima, former Mayor Miyagishima.
Which I think is unconstitutional. You should get one vote, okay? First time around, if you don't have 50% plus one, then okay, let's have a runoff. Get the top two people and do that. It just, I hate it so much.
So
I
dumb.
can't tell you how awful it is.
I was looking over the voting with one of the candidates, the end vote tallies, and the Democrats, every single election, have like 5-6 times more absentee ballots than the Republican candidates. And they always win by that. And it's like, what does that tell you? So I think President Trump's onto something good when he's talking about getting rid of absentee ballots.
Well, let me correct you too, okay? I think we need to refer to that as mail-in ballots.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Because absentee ballots, really what that is, and that comes from, even when I worked at the county clerk's office, my last year in my high school year.
Here comes Alice's nerd. Come on.
And the nerd and the history, okay? The absentee ballots, what that was for is, say you were serving in Turkey, okay, you're military, we send you the ballot because you're absentee. You can't be there because you're absent, or you have...
So it's the same thing as a mail-in ballot. You got to mail it in, right?
But you have to apply for it and register, and then they mail it to you.
So then what's a mail-in?
But the mail-in ballots are just kind of universal. Mail-in ballots, like the whole county could mail in the ballots. Do they do that for the city elections?
That's ridiculous. Do you know? Yeah, of course they do.
So in other words, I could get a mail-in ballot even though I want to go vote at the poll, but I would have to take it in. So that's why I prefer to use absentee ballot for that. So when you're talking about, it's just, okay, mail. But I think he does want to get rid of the mail-in ballots.
Yeah, I think.
Because I shouldn't automatically send you one unless I request it. If I needed, if I had a hardship, I was going to be, maybe I had to be in Alaska, I couldn't be in Las Cruces the voting day. Or again, military, because military people are around the world.
Yeah, barely. That's it. Military overseas deployed. That's the only ones that get to do that. Everyone else, get your ass off the couch and go vote.
Because I told you the process too. When I was there, I was just, a little part-timer working there. I had a job there, and there was, I think she was called a marshal or something like, let's just give her a name, voting marshal. Okay. She would get, so let's say that you had been in Turkey, okay, and you send in your absentee ballot. So what she would do is she would receive it, and I would log it was a sealed envelope, okay? I think it came registered mail even and everything. And they had these big giant ledger books, okay? This is in the old courthouse that is closed down now. And I would log it in, and it was like all official. Then I'd give the ballot back to her. I hope I'm remembering the process correctly. Barbara, if you're still out there, would you get a hold of me?
You're probably messing it up, but it's fine.
But she would, and then she would take it. Everything was very, very, taken care of.
Yeah, honored and cherished and all that. Yeah.
And she would do that. But it was a big deal because it is a big deal. That's your vote. It was. I didn't know who
Now
they
you
voted
got
for.
Harold and Kumar freaking chucking in mail-in ballots willy-nilly.
Taking 2 seconds to verify the signature, and that's probably what she did too. I bet she pulled the voter registration card and then compared the signatures to, which some of them they caught him doing what. Yeah, 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 yeah. I used to be a teller at a bank, and I remember checking the ID, and I would look, and once in a while I was like, that doesn't look right.
Doesn't look good, yeah.
Sign it again, or
And they catch people cheating every year all around the country all the time. It's like a write-off. A certain percentage of people are going to cheat. And we still walk around here and act like cheating's not a thing. I just can't stand that. That's the biggest affront to reality. When these people gaslight us and say there is nothing wrong. We have our county clerk here in Las Cruces, Doña Ana County, has the audacity to throw in our face that we have the best elections in the country.
Yeah, where did that come from? Who awarded that award to her?
She quotes it all the time. We ought to just pull it up and fact check it because I guarantee it's wrong. Because she can't count ballots on the same day to save her life. And she's been in there about a decade.
And how late? I was just reading somewhere, I think it's Illinois, they were accused of actually counting a ballot received 14 days after the election.
Ridiculous.
Now, what is our rule here? Do you know?
Whenever they feel like. Whenever they feel like.
I found another box of ballots.
Yeah, they do it all the time. They do it every year. And I'm so, transparent and flippant about it because I'm sick of it. And I've been through it I'm deeply involved with politics, guys. I see it, right? And I've seen it just destroy candidates too. These guys put their lives and souls into it, and we all put our spirits into it, our money into it, our time into it. We want a better future. Who doesn't want safer streets? Who doesn't want better schools? Who doesn't want a better economy? If you have blood in your veins and you're just like somewhat reasonable, you want that for yourself and for your family. Even if you're selfish and egotistical, you want that for yourself. But we still have policies that destroy all three of those. The crime's terrible, the education's getting worse, and the economy's a wreck here in Mexico.
It's really
what is going on?
Amazing. It's not much worse. Of course, it may be worse. We just don't know about it.
It's way worse. It's way worse than we know.
You don't hear about it.
That's the thing, guys. Is you gotta understand. And I'm in the executive role in many organizations, and I deal with executives in business all the time. I dealt with it when I worked for NATO. I worked for NASA. It's so easy. I mean, these guys are just covering for themselves everywhere. It's when you're at a certain level, you can just start yanking money. Not that I've done it, but I've seen it, and I've seen people get in trouble for it. It's just so easy. It goes back to the whole idea that we have a dark side. We have a dark nature. The human being is a dark creature. We have had to evolve from these caveman days where we would just rape and pillage, and we had no God. And it's in our blood to just be vicious, and to hold ourselves accountable is to also focus on holding other people accountable. We have to hold each other accountable to make sure we do the right thing for the species, for the children, for ourselves. And there's just no one at the helm, guys. Look at New Mexico. There's no one at the helm. Everything just gets worse and worse. And everybody, I don't really talk to too many people that want that. I mean, we're pretty conservative and we want what's better. But did you see that they had a big demonstration in Albuquerque last week? It was an anti-Trump demonstration.
I don't think I did.
There's a big No Kings demonstration downtown Albuquerque, and it wasn't that big. They look like zombies, just kind of trudging around.
Paid for,
Had to have been. They just look so miserable, and they just But see, and then that's another point, real quick. I feel like it's an illusion. With these elections the way they are, it's an illusion. I don't think they have that much support. What do you think?
I think more like you do. I really do.
Tell me I'm not crazy.
You see so many things. The latest one too. Remember J.D. Vance faked out those protesters?
Yeah.
They were on one side. That cracked me up so bad. Somebody was telling me too. There was somewhere local, but they said, "Well, where do these people come?" They always look the same too. Somebody was commenting. They're all seniors. Okay, and I understand that. As a senior, they're usually retired, have more time to do that. But come on, and they don't look happy. They don't look excited at what they're doing. Whenever watch these, and there's plenty of video. Kind of watch their faces, the signs that they hold up. If somebody actually talks to them, can they defend their arguments? Typically, they can't. They do the Charlie Kirk on them. Well, give me an example. You don't like this? What has Trump done, or whatever they're protesting about? And typically, they don't really give you any facts or information. Kind of like that press conference that was held after RFK did the testimony.
That's why I don't think they have that much support. I think it's all an illusion. The news is all the Daily Show, the Colbert Report, all those shows are gone now. I mean, the Colbert Report, because they were all propped up by USAID. They found out it was making things worse. People get pissed off seeing those shows. It's not reality. Most people don't feel that way.
And they can't compete now because there's so many other ways to get your news, to get information, like podcasts like ours and things. And just, and watch also, not everybody gives good information. You have to be kind of, use your discernment with that. But it's,
I only go off of a couple people. And they've not let me down for almost a decade now. So I'm sticking to these peeps. I'm not going to say who they are, but they're solid.
I want to warn somebody about something because I posted something and it's my fault because I didn't pay attention. Someone that posted it was somebody who always has really good posts. And gosh, I think it's something like, it leads you to believe that it's Fox News, but it's Fox Follow or something. And they put bad stories on there to fake you out.
Yeah, I get hit with those all the time. They try to get me with them
right away. Somebody warned me about.
You got to be careful. When it's really triggering and really alarming, you got to really think about it.
Yeah, but, and usually I'm pretty good about that, or I'll wait and kind of check it out, or ask somebody that I would know. But I got caught. I admit it. I got caught, so I took it down as soon as I could. So if you saw something, you're like, oh, I can't believe I'll put that. Sorry, I'm human.
It happens. It happens, and I've been guilty of that in the past too. I'm not really. I mean, now if I say something, it happens. Like I've really not that wrong that often anymore. I try to stay. I do plan on running for office eventually, so I try to watch what the heck I say. And yeah, I am unashamed to support President Trump. I mean, how much would you respect me if I supported President Trump all these years, so hardcore, and then all of a sudden, if I was running for office, oh no, I don't really like President Trump. I think people would respect me more if I stuck to my guns.
Well,
and being honest, being authentic.
And again, you have criticized him, so have I on some things.
Yeah.
And
I still love the
that's
guy.
Okay because, like I say, overwhelmingly, closing the border, the appointments that he's made. Judge Janine Pirro, she's
all that stuff.
Fantastic. Has so many good appointments. It's awesome, and I just think that we're still very blessed to have him there, and let's try to support him. And if you critique him, that's fine. That's good. Just tell me why so I can understand. Maybe there's something I'm not saying.
No, they're just too far gone. And one of the main reasons why I respect President Trump so much is because I have been hit by the system. I've been attacked by the system, and it's been a brutal fight. It's not easy. These guys want everything. It's basically racketeering. It's difficult to wiggle when the system is out to get you. This dude was getting hammered in every single way possible. They shot him in the head, and he's still out there grinding. I mean,
why would you? You have all that money. You get an assassination attempt on your life. I mean, didn't have to do this. He didn't have to run.
No, and then they're saying that he was on Epstein Island and getting involved. Look, why would he, a control freak, a germaphobe control freak, why would he compromise himself with these low lives? That doesn't fit his MO. That's not his personality type. He wants to be in control. If you're going to the island, you're looking for money. You're looking for fame. He already has all that.
And again, like we always say, if he'd really been that involved with that, the left would have had a field day. The far left would have gone nuts and crazy. We would know every little detail about that. I guarantee you.
Long time ago.
I guarantee you.
Long time ago.
Man, okay, what have we not touched on? Did we get enough? There was a senator. Also, I just have to mention that there was a senator who tried to go after RFK. Did you see that one too? Oh man, I got his name down here.
They all try to go after him, and he's just like, bro.
It was so embarrassing. When I posted on my Facebook page, I'm so embarrassed for New Mexico. It would have been fine if he would have been critical or done it, but it was embarrassing. He looked, okay, this is a favorite word my boss likes to use, amateur, okay? Because you're there, I think he was one of our senators. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. If I can find that name before we sign off, I'll let you know. But you just go to my Facebook profile and you can see it. It was downright embarrassing. The Pinon posted it too. And kudos, Pinon Post, man, you guys, every day, I have to see whatever you send out every day because it's always something that I'm interested. They do a great job. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that we're going to be going on a wild ride here very soon. I can feel it in the air. It's going to be getting crazy. It's just the AI stuff I'm learning right now, guys. It's unbelievable. This time next year, we're going to be living in a whole other existence.
Even next year, even
one
within
year from today is going to be exceptionally different. It's just so wow. I can't even tell you guys how insane the future is going to be. It's just, and so I'm just grateful. Grateful to be here with you, Alice. Grateful to be here in front of you people. And, you know, we're coming up on the hour here soon. What else you got? I'm down to go longer. What's up?
I think we need to do this every show. So next week, we are planning to have Christina Moore.
You're going to put the pressure on
the school board. She agreed she'd do it. Okay. We just have to come up with what time we're going to do that. But she's ready. The only reason we couldn't do it this weekend is she's not feeling well. I think she just has done so much work. You know,
it's tough. It's a lot of energy.
It's a lot because she's going to school also. You find out a lot about her, but when you do, you're like, oh my gosh, how is she doing this? She has so much stuff. But that's what happens. You ask a busy person and they get things done. So I want to let you know. So in District 5, Las Cruces City Council, our good buddy, our friend Ronnie Cisneros is running for District 5. Okay. So should I mention the incumbent?
No, don't say their name.
Okay, I'm not going to mention the incumbent. Okay. And so there are also our good friend Rick Renault. He is also running for City Council. We had him on last week.
Great guy.
If you haven't watched that interview, I think he did a great job. Pass that on.
Straight shooter.
Okay, I'm going to say this too. Okay, you live in Las Cruces. Maybe you don't live in his district, but you know a lot of people. Somebody could live there, so text them that or mention his name, Rick Renaud, Reynaud. What's the district number?
D6, and that's 1,000 people to win the race, guys. I can come up with 1,000 people myself. Come on. If we all put our thought into this, we can grab them 1,000 votes. Let's go.
And like I say, if you want to support these guys, even if they don't live in your district, if you live in Las Cruces or you have a business in Las Cruces, think about getting two good, strong conservatives, reasonable. They represent you. They all represent you because the whole city council votes. So those are our Las Cruces City Council candidates. Christina Moore is running for the school board, and we also have Natalie Chadburn. She's running for the school board as well. And those are the conservative candidates that I know of. Am I missing anybody?
Yeah, I think
I'd love to see all of them elected. I would.
I'm optimistic. Even if these guys want to cheat, we're gonna catch it cheating, bro. Everybody's watching now, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this next election cycle. I think it's gonna be great. You know, I know 2026 is gonna be awesome because we've already got word that we're gonna be fixing we get voter ID for 2026 on the national elections. That's gonna be great.
That's going to be awesome. Because right now in New Mexico, they don't require ID.
It's not going to be long, though. I mean,
but this one, too. So when you go vote, you don't need your ID either. You need to be registered. Hopefully, you need to be. And now, you should already be registered there's like a month before or something. Do you know the rules on that?
For what? For who?
For voting for local elections.
No, you just vote.
Okay. Oh, and one more mention, okay? The county has that Go Bond.
Oh, the Go Bonds. I want to do a deep dive into that because I can't stand those things. I don't even like the name Go Bond. I hear the word Go Bond and I want to kick something.
It sounds too positive.
I don't like it.
Let's go. Let's get out of it.
It's probably Stop Bond. They always say the opposite of what it is. It probably stops prosperity and freedom.
But I'm voting no, and I hope you do too. But
we
will do a show on that.
We got to go deep dive on that. I want to vote no. Let's change some policy. Let's get rid of some of these Go Bonds because they sneak it right under you. They put it on the back of the ballot. They don't tell anybody what's really going on. They pretty much force you to say yes.
And here's the thing. Well, the average homeowner, it's only going to increase your taxes, not even $15 a month.
You shouldn't even be taxing us at all.
Why?
Buddy? Because look where it's going. In your pocket, theoretically, I don't want to say, look, it's not going towards the kids. I'll say that. It's not going towards our streets because they're not safe. It's not going to anything positive.
Well, they haven't even decided where it's going to go.
Then why are they pulling it then?
They're still holding little town halls and things.
This is so pathetic.
But the one big thing, the one that I went to, what they're talking about is building a venue out at the fairgrounds.
Why are we giving these incompetent fools more money?
And if they do that, here's the thing, okay? Let's say they do build this. We still have to maintain it.
No.
It's not going to just maintain itself. And you know who's going to be paying for that?
Why don't we just pay for more cops? How about that?
Wouldn't that be right? And this is a county thing, so let's get,
more sheriffs.
Sheriff deputies. Yeah, why not? There's so many other things. Oh, real quick, we have to talk about Fred D. Huff's drone. Did you see his drone video?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I posted that. I think I put it on our New Mexico site too. Chips and Salsa Show New Mexico. Please like us, our Facebook page. So, Fred D. Huff, our good friend, he got a drone, man, and he has so much fun with it. He's got a lot of cool stuff.
He rips it.
So he lives kind of by Burn Lake, right?
Yeah.
And that's where they have a good homeless population. So the drone is this guy, and this guy's got crutches and he's struggling, and he's just getting ready to ask for money, right? So the drone is taking video of the guy doing that. Then he goes on to a couple of other they look like cabanas to me, other people that are there. And he says it's 23 seconds. After that, he goes back to his original guy. The guy doesn't have his crutches anymore. He's dancing around. It is awesome and brilliant, and kudos and salute. You got the whole enchilada there, Mr. Fred D. Huff.
Yeah, I love Mr. Huff. Great guy. Shout out to him for allowing us to do the light parade for the Republican Party this past 4th of July. That was a great time, and that was all in due to the Huff brothers, who've been serving Las Cruces community area for a very long time, and we are just thankful for their spirit, and we're thankful for all your guys' spirit, and for liking this post, for sharing this post. We do it for you guys. We're going to be having guests on in the near future.
We should have Fred on, too.
You know what?
He'd be a good guest.
Fred would be great. I'd love to have Fred on. If he wants to, I'm going to have him.
Right on.
So we'll get Fred on. I want to do a big old group meeting one of these days because I think those are fruitful conversations. Like imagine me, you, Juan, Sarah, and Fred. That'd be a great conversation.
I'm not there. Just you, Juan.
No, I said me, you, Juan, Sarah.
I thought you
and Fred.
said you.
I think I said me, you.
You probably did. I just didn't hear.
God, Alice.
No, I thought, well, okay,
of course you're on board.
I don't have to be there.
You do have to be there. All of us got to be there and throw the Democrats under that bus, baby.
Oh, let's do it. Is it prayer time? Or what have we forgotten?
I think it's about prayer time. I want to get further into the whole Dr. Sue thing. We're jumping into that next week deeper.
Oh, did I announce the little speaking event they're going to have with Dr. Berkson?
Oh, yeah. You might want to say that again just in case. Just reiterate.
So this is going to happen next Saturday. It's at the Doña Ana County Workforce Center. My doctor, Dr. Arthur Berkson, who is phenomenal. He's awesome, integrative medicine guy. And they're talking about the New Mexico healthcare crisis. It's free. It's open to the public. Come if you can. And let me see. It's going to be Saturday, September 13th at 2 p.m. Doña Ana Community College Workforce Center. And that's 2345 Nevada Avenue. Is that off Solano, I think, Nevada? Anyway, just look it up, 2345 Nevada Avenue, and I will post this as well. But I think I'm going to try to go. I think it's going to be really good.
It's pretty straightforward.
Take care of it.
I'll say it again. The guys that are writing the laws that make it easier to sue doctors are the ones suing the doctors. It's just that's what it is. And like I said before, we can hopefully have Senator Cervantes on board, and he can talk to us and relay to the people why these practices are happening in Mexico. And maybe there's some solutions that he has as to why, how to fix that. It's pretty common sense. South Dakota had the same issue. They offered reciprocity where if you had a residency in any state in the country, you can go to South Dakota and practice there. Didn't matter if you had a residency in South Dakota.
They could do that. We don't have that here.
Well, they tried to, and they shot it down. They shot it down. They even tried to push online medicine. So doctors out of state can do telemed. And they said, no, unless we can sue them, we don't want to do it.
And you know what? That happened to us because Mark had a doctor, and all of a sudden, he couldn't do it because they only could do it in telemedicine because, we couldn't travel there every time out of state to do it. So, that would have solved a lot of issues.
But they won't do it here unless you can sue them. And so, it's just, we got to just look at states that are, this is a basic inductive reasoning, inductive logic. Where are other states? Where is a state that doesn't have this issue? Okay, Texas. They don't have a problem with doctors over there. Doctors are they're going over there in droves. So what are they doing that we can do? Well, they make it harder to sue a doctor. The cap limit's way lower and the insurance premiums are way lower. Mm-hmm. We just got to do the same thing here.
Right on. Let's do it.
I just solved it. We just solved problems right here for you guys, right here, right now. Now we can say a prayer. Unless you got something else, Alice. What you got?
No, I just want to thank you, Zeke, because it's so great to have you as a partner. When I first came here and then decided I wanted to start up a Chips and Salsa show, and God just kind of said, well, here's Zeke.
Yeah.
Because he's millennial. I'm the boomer. Knows so much about politics. Very active, engaged. Running for office at that time. Unfortunately, didn't win, but that's okay. He was meant probably to be here and do this.
I'm a winning
run for
loser.
A future office. But I just want to thank you very much for still being a part of this, and we're going to keep on doing it, man.
Huge honor. We will keep doing the show because
always,
it is awesome to do, and it's just going to keep getting more exciting, guys. There's just more cool stuff going on. We got more plans. We got guests. We got prayers too. So let's pray. Lord Jesus, thank you once again for bringing us together today on this fine weekend to share local news with the people. And for that, I want to say a prayer to the little girl who lost her life over the past weekend. And we just pray that her family find peace and comfort in you, Lord. And we pray for other children that were involved with that they don't fall victim to violence either, Lord, and that we as a community can learn from this type of incident so that way more children aren't to suffer at the same evil. It's evil to kill, to take someone's life so young is an evil thing. And we don't want that in our community. And I hope we can pull together for you, Lord, and pray that our children are protected here in Las Cruces and protected here in New Mexico. And I pray that you continue to give us the energy to protect the children and fight for our freedoms so we can better serve you, Lord, and we can better serve humanity. And it's just what we're here to do, Lord. It's to spread the word. And I'm just so grateful for all the blessings that you've given us to share that word, Lord, because these are your gifts. We would not be here if it wasn't for you. Thank you again, Lord. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys. You guys have a great, great weekend. Amen.
Thank you. Amen. Well done as always, buddy.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. See you guys next week.
Have a great week. We love you.
Yeah, recorded.
Awesome. Okay, well, it's fine. We got it done. We got it done. Right on.
Yeah, recorded.
Yay. Yippity doo-dah. This here. Tumbled up in here.